Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from my basement bunker beneath Kello Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour. It's great to have you along. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. It just go too darn fast. What's going on in Los Angeles really is just absolutely infuriating to me. You watch this, and I want to give you a little better view and some video, some other reaction to what's going on. So let's start with President Trump and his Truth Social account. He has, over the course of the last 12 hours or so, he said Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Bass should apologize to the people of Los Angeles for the absolutely horrible job they have done. And this now includes the ongoing LA riots. These are not protesters. They're troublemakers and insurrectionists. Remember, no masks. And then he followed that up. Paid insurrectionists. He said this is Trump at the fights over the weekend. And then he said, Jim McDonald, the highly respected chief of the Los Angeles Police Department, just stated that the protesters are getting very much more aggressive and that he would have to reassess the situation as it pertains to bringing in the troops. He should right now. Don't let these thugs get away with this, the president saying. And then he said, looking really bad in Los Angeles. Now, this is 10 hours ago, a couple of hours later. He said, looking really bad in LA. Bring in the troops. Arrest the people in face masks now. And that's the latest from the president on Truth Social. So let's dive into some of this. And I want to give you a little better view of what's going on. The LA police chief talking about the National Guard, just obliterated the narrative from the Democrats. The police chief, when asked if the National Guard is needed, this thing has gotten out of control. And I'm going to show you some more here. He said, the arrests we've made pale in comparison to what will be made. We have video of everything. We will find those individuals and arrest them all very aggressively. This is a fairly short segment.
When you look at the numbers of arrests we've made, pale in comparison to what will be made. There are video accounts of what happened everywhere on social media, on individuals, cameras, iPhones. We will go after that very aggressively. Go after the all available video, analyze that video, and hold whoever we can accountable for the variety of different types of crimes that have been committed. And that's something we'll do with a number of different partners with levels of expertise that may be beyond what we have.
So in other words, we're coming after you. We are coming after you. We're going to figure out who you are, and we're coming after you. That is law enforcement in Los Angeles, unlike just the lunacy coming from Gavin Newsom. And this is, and you see some of these videos. They're throwing items down at police. All of these people up here throwing items down at police. Watch this stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. Throwing these items down at police, and it gets worse. I can't show you that video. I can show you this one. Another police cruiser smashed to bits. Riots are now virtually on every other block. Here's the video. So you see some of this and what's going on. It becomes 6 seconds. But Town Hall is saying LA is like a war zone. Time to put this down. Gavin Newsom says Trump is manufacturing this crisis. That look like a manufactured crisis to you? What I'm showing you? That look manufactured to you? This is what Gavin Newsom is saying. Karen Bass, people are protesting peacefully. Yeah, a small number of them are. But, I mean, this is what we always hear from the Democrats. Then we've got people are protesting peacefully. Yeah, that's not what's going on. So Gavin Newsom is making the situation, I believe, even worse. This is from the New York Post. So we've got legitimate media here. Newsom adding fuel to the fire, daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Come after me. Arrest me. Let's just get it over with, tough guy. What a punk. What a snotty-nosed punk. Newsom, I just want to punch that guy in his fat nose. I'd love to. I wouldn't. I'd love to. So Newsom saying, let's get it over with, tough guy, he says to Holman. And Holman is just, this guy is incredible. What a machine. He's saying you cross that line, it's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien. It's a felony to impede law enforcement doing their job. So Trump sending the National Guard. Newsom saying it's Trump who's making the situation worse. And he accused the administration of using federal power as a political weapon. Are you kidding me? You get people throwing rocks and, utter lawlessness in these cities. And it's Trump who's making it worse? I mean, wow, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be joking. Trump, he's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? He knows where to find me. I hope they do arrest his ass. Seriously, arrest him? This is just absolutely obscene what's going on. I'm trying to see who it is who's saying some of these comments. I think it's Holman. He said, these guys need to grow up. They need to stop. We need to push back. I'm sorry to be so clear. This kind of bloviating is exhaust. Oh, this is Newsom. These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. We need to push back. I'm sorry to be so. This is the mantra of the Democrats, right? Resistance. And here it is again. We need to push back. This Gavin Newsom, the resistance. I'm sorry to be so clear, but this kind of bloviating is exhausting. It's not bloviating. We're going to follow the law. You people are in violation, not Newsom, but these protesters, you're in violation of law. Look at this stuff. Look at the photos. Look at what's going on. You got all of these police cars being pelted. All of these folks up here. It's raining. That's a peaceful protest? By whose standard? Standards of the left are just there are no standards. So then Holman said, we're arresting bad people. We're enforcing laws, following up on a serious criminal investigation on cartel financing. So that's exactly what ICE did. ICE took a lot of bad people off the street that day. He said, we arrested a sexual predator, arrested gang members, arrested somebody that had an armed robbery conviction. So we made LA safer. And this just goes on. And Newsom is just an absolute clown. Then you've got this Australian news reporter. Did you see this? This is, forgive me, I should have scrolled back up on this. The Australian news reporter shot with a rubber bullet live on the air while reporting on the ACE. This is the anti-ICE riots, not ACE. Conflating words again. So this woman gets hit in the leg by a bullet fired from this officer right here. You see him pointing. He's looking this direction. And I'm going to show you the video because you'll see it. It's pretty clear. So we'll start early on here. And let me show you. Hold on a second.
Well, it's definitely got a challenge. Today.
What happened? I'm gonna refresh this screen because there it is. This is the actual video. Here it comes.
After hours of standing off this situation has now rapidly
Here's the guy right over
the
here.
LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters.
Right over here. There he
moving
is.
them on through the heart of LA.
Now here it comes. Boom!
Shut the fuck up.
So she gets hit. I'm not defending, but you got this. Reporters want to get right out in the middle of this. So she's right out there. He fires a pellet and hits her, and you see the video. Now, you don't want that, but the media, the media is out there. They want to insert themselves. They want to be right there where it's. And I understand the need for this. Okay, I understand the need to be able to report on what's going on. Could you have done it maybe from a little safer distance than what you were at? These cameras have the ability to be able to zoom in. They got an incredible capability. So the reaction here is a little bit crazy. So she and her camera operator are safe. That's worth pointing out. She's safe. And then you start seeing the reaction. Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade issued a statement, of course, supporting media freedom, which I do as well. And then you have Australian senators demanding an urgent explanation from the Trump administration. Oh, really? Here we go. Then the politics is going to get crazy already. Again, I'm not supporting shooting but again, it's a riot situation. Again, you're putting yourself right in the middle of what is a riot situation. And it's the Trump administration that those are police. I mean, based on, were those the federal troops that Trump had called in? Those look like police to me. Look like police. So everything just gets out of hand. It really gets kind of crazy. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to circle around to some of your comments here. You can see them on the screen here as well. But the reaction from Democrats is always just so crazy to me. It's a small part of LA. Oh, it's just a small part of LA. So you and I are not supposed to sweat. It's just a small part of LA. Oh, you have got to be kidding. So this is the New York Post. Even liberal media knows it looks bad when Mexican flag-waving punks are wearing skull masks and setting fire to cars. Hard to paint the president as a fascist when protesters from another country are inciting violence and looting. They're desperate to minimize what's going on. This got to be an opinion piece. Yeah, the Post editorial board. This is the New York Post editorial board. So they're trying to minimize all of this. And look at this stuff. The American flag, Fox News had footage of that I was seeing this morning. So when they're saying that when the George Floyd riots descended into mayhem, the constant refrain on CNN was a mostly peaceful protest. Yeah. And kind of the same nonsense going on here. Just absolutely incredible. And when you have a media that is more, they're more sold on selling a narrative rather than on reporting truthfully on events, that's what you get. So Monday morning's Axios report said the clashes between police and protesters centered in a small slice of the city. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Imagine if all news were treated this way. Murder in Queens, but in Brooklyn, life goes on. Hurricanes in Florida. It's just a small slice of the United States. The motives are so transparent, they're laughable. The media want to diminish and distract. For the rest of us, says the editorial board at the New York Post, reality goes on. Yeah, absolutely crazy. And then you've got Democrats who are banding together now, and the post-millennials got this story condemning the president's involvement in what's going on. A coalition of Democrats issued a joint statement yesterday condemning the president's decision to deploy the California National Guard without Gavin Newsom's consent. This is an alarming abuse of power. You have got to be kidding. It's the same BS from the same crowd over and over and over again. It's just incredible. So they voiced their strong support for California Governor Gavin Newsom based on the comments that I just showed you and the nonsense going on in Los Angeles. Where the hell is Gavin Newsom? What is he doing to try to quell this? What is he doing to try to put an end to it rather than pointing the finger of blame at the president? This is just absolute nonsense. How you see this, and we see it, unfortunately, we see it over and over and over again. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Melissa was saying, maybe she's responding to Robert's comment about being a resident in Los Angeles, that she was there. I've not revisited since 2005. And I don't blame folks who are saying that. David saying, if I lived in LA, I would consider moving out. Yeah, absolutely crazy. It's not a small part of LA. What's Edgy saying here? Some of this involving Epstein and what's happening there. I think the crowd's getting a little off where I'm at this morning, because what's going on in California really is the story. Epstein and the Epstein files. And again, you got Dan Bongino saying the video shows that Epstein clearly committed suicide. He was not killed by anyone else. And then you had the, Elon Musk with the Epstein files and saying Donald Trump and them. And then he has since, he's pulled down that post. He pulled down that post over the weekend. So I think that, to me, right now, is a distraction from what's really going on in California. And you got to keep your eyes on the ball right now are on the Democrats and the insanity that they're out there just shoveling as fast as they can. All right, that's a wrap for today. You made it through the entire video, so you're part of my gallery of champions. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Special salute to the Bunker Brigade, who are here each and every day, commenting, sharing their thoughts. So we're going to leave it there for today. I'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, I'm underground and gone.